Hey, welcome to Come On You Spurs TV, where we talk about everything Tottenham. We are previewing the match between Tottenham and Manchester United. Actually, Man United versus Tottenham because it's taken to Old Trafford. To join us to preview this is Shuma, and he will join us on the other side. In the meantime, Come On You Spurs. Come on, you Spurs. Welcome, good people. Come on, you Spurs, indeed. Tottenham against Man United at Old Trafford. Kickoff Sunday, 4:30 p.m. GMT. It's going to be a cracker. I mean, Chuma, welcome. How are you?
Yeah, like I said in the transfer pod, which we recorded before, I said Spurs have come out of a great transfer window in January. Speaking to you guys, 11th of January. This is unheard of that Daniel Levy has done so much work, and Ange Postecoglou has at least 2 of his 3 targets ready to deploy against Manchester United or have some involvement in the Manchester United game. I mean, we're living in exciting times.
Yeah, exciting times indeed. I mean, this is where we talk about Tottenham having 2 players in already. I mean, it's not even the 12th of January yet, and there's still a few more in the pipeline. Potentially a few more surprises. But I mean, the key is this match at Old Trafford on Sunday, and this is a totally different team that's going to face Manchester United from the team that faced them at the opening stages of the season, And before we go back into that, let's just have a quick bit of the housekeeping.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Even though we're going to Old Trafford, things still remain the same at Come On You Spurs TV. If you're new to the channel, or if you've been back but haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click on the subscribe button, click on the notification bell, let you know when we bring out new content and when we bring out new content. Like the video for the algorithm, comment, let us know what your thoughts are on the channel, what your thoughts are on Spurs or Premier League in general. And as always, it's Come On Ye Spurs.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, so we go to Old Trafford. Are we favourites or underdogs? Now, I asked that question for a number of reasons because Ten Hag's team is in a bit of a geographical transition, a bit of a difficult spell, lean spell, loss of form, and they seem to be. I don't know. They won the last match against Wigan. I mean, Wigan are not what you might call Real Madrid, right? But sometimes when you win games, it inspires confidence. It sort of changes the morale in the team. So you want to keep up that winning run. But you're coming against a team, again, like Tottenham. I mean, we had our own lean spell, if you like, and we're coming off of that lean spell. And we built up a good rhythm so far. I think we've won about 6 of our last 7 matches, And the trajectory, again, looks upward. And of course, with the business done in the transfer window, with the injuries and suspensions, looking a lot better than it was. I mean, maybe six weeks ago or thereabouts. There seems to be a new spring in our step. And the question is, are we able to translate that into victory at Old Trafford on Sunday? What do you think?
Well, I think the first game we played against them at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, I think it was that game that sowed the first seeds of faith in Ange Ball, in my opinion. Because up until that point, we played teams that were quote unquote smaller teams. United was supposed to be a bigger proposition. And to be honest, they played really, really well in the first half and they didn't take their chances. But by the second half, by the end of that first half and the start of the second half, Spurs took complete control and we more or less owned Manchester United and we were deserved winners at the end. If they'd taken their chances,
different story, right?
Exactly. But, we don't live in a land of ifs and buts. The team that executes does what it does, and we executed very, very well. Since that time, Tottenham went from strength to strength after that game, and then we had our little blip, our little wilderness experience, so to speak. But it's just been an ebb and flow wilderness experience for Manchester United fans, unfortunately. In my opinion, I think Erik Ten Hag sold them a false bill of goods.
that's that's a, that's a, that's a low blow.
No, I'm perfect. I'm being very honest, and I think a lot of Manchester United fans would agree with me. He was meant to bring the Ajax football. That's the same reason Tottenham went for him as well. After playing him in the 2019 Champions League semi-final, I mean, everyone was impressed with that Ajax team. It was such a free-flowing, fabulously technical side. And everyone thought that it wasn't necessarily just the fact it was Ajax, it was Ten Hag. So Tottenham wanted him to become manager. For whatever reasons, the deal broke down. Some say he used Tottenham to get an extension. He really wanted a bigger club than Tottenham. Others say that Daniel Levy sussed him out as being having a bit of an attitude, and that this wasn't what he was looking for. I don't know if that latter one is true, because we end up getting Antonio Conte. Hey, there you go. But he ends up at Manchester United, and I expected to see free-flowing football within 2 seasons. I could have given him that first season. He won a trophy. Kudos to him. Playing a sort of transitional, reactive, counter-attacking game. But I was like, okay, he's trying to bed in his style. He's bringing in his players. And we're 2 seasons in. I see no change in style. I see no proper patterns of movement. And they struggled against a League One side in Wigan. Their 2 standout players were Diego Dallo, who scored the goal, and Kobe Mino, an 18-year-old central midfield player who I think is going to be an outstanding prospect. But the rest of them, a lot of players have regressed. Names like Bruno Fernandes, I think, has regressed. I think Marcus Rashford has as well. Then they bought the striker, Højlund from Atalanta, who was on his way up. He wasn't a finished article, but he's come to Manchester United, albeit under the weight of a huge transfer tag, but nothing's happening. So, and the way it's been going is Manchester United win one game, it staves off the sacking for Ten Hag, and they lose the next game. So it leads us to believe that they just beat Wigan. So chances are they could lose against Spurs. So I'm not sure if Spurs are the underdogs, but we'll just wait and see.
Interesting you say that. So here we are. We have we've won what in the league, the last 6 matches, if you like. I mean, where are we? If you sort of update this, it just tells us a really, really different story from the previous 6 matches, if you like. So we have what in terms of the table. If you look at what the last 6 matches have looked like in the league, top of that pile will be Liverpool, and we will be 6th in that form guide, if you like, and Man United are 13th in that form guide, because according to that form guide, Man U have won only 2 matches in the last 6, while we have won, I think, 4 or 5 of those matches in that time. We won 4 and lost 2. We lost to Brighton and lost to West Ham. So yeah, I mean, it's been a good run so far. I think we won. Last match played against was against AFC Bournemouth, and that came away 3-1. Even though that didn't really tell the whole story of the other match, But hey, we deal with results, don't we? It's a results game, yes. And like I always say, we always said about it. It's about fine margins all the time, Yeah. So that's where we're at. Old Trafford is always a difficult place to go for most teams, and we haven't had a great deal of good results there. I mean, okay, fine, we won. I think the best result we had in recent years was a 6-1 match during the COVID era, and I remember that match very well. I think to myself, oh my goodness, I mean, is this Tottenham? And I think that was very satisfying for Jose. I mean, I think that was his first time going back since with Tottenham since he left Old Trafford. So that was quite but the bad thing, if you like, was that there were no fans in the stadium, to sort of let it all sink in. But listen, different ball game entirely we're playing now. I mean, Ten Hag is facing a crisis now from, you know, I mean, I think some people even suggest that there might be a player rebellion. Who knows? I mean, some people say that, look, they're not playing that great. But however, I mean, Man U are one of those teams that it's when the chips are down, they come up with results that you don't expect them to come up with. So I'm not ruling them out completely, you know. And I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, you know, Manchester United are a storied club in Premier League. They probably won the Premier League more than any other club side have. They have the history, they have the status as a leading club, not just in the Premier League, but in the world. And sometimes I think that weight can be such a huge thing to carry. And I think it falls on every squad they've ever had to try and live up to the memory of the squads they've had before. But that history is slowly vanishing away because they found it hard to be consistently a dominating side or dominant side, sorry. And yeah, it's really quite interesting to see Manchester United. Tottenham going there now, I have no fear. Even if Tottenham were to lose, I still have no fear because I know where Tottenham are going. I know the direction. There are very few Manchester United fans you can pull and ask them, what direction is your club going in? And they would give you a straight answer. They don't know. They can't tell you what kind of football they play because they can't see it. And I think they have a decent squad. I don't think they have an outstanding squad, but they have a decent squad. I think it's just the way they play football or what the thoughts and the ideas, tactical ideas of Ten Hag, they are not translating. And he's bought 14 players. He's had a hand in 14 players coming into the club. And some would say, well, you know, he's not really the one buying. But most of them are Dutch players or players that played in the Dutch league or players that he's personally managed himself. I read the other day that the rumors coming out are that Sofiane Amrabat, who Tottenham looked at for about 2 years, Sofiane Amrabat, who had a wonderful World Cup with Morocco, standout player at Fiorentina, that Sofiane Amrabat's loan will not be converted to a buy, that they're going to just send him back. And, you know, sorry to use the word ruin, but he's another player that's sort of been ruined by coming to Old Trafford. And yeah, so for me, I look at United and you can never call them underdogs at Old Trafford. I think they play very well at home, or because of the fans. So this match has draw or a narrow win for someone coming through, or if we meet them at their lowest ebb, which is quite possible, it could be a one-way street with Spurs running over them.
Interesting. You know, I'm Optimus Prime, so hey, I mean that's not about to change, you know. I think we're gonna go there and do the business for Ange. I think if you listen to the players that we have and their attitude, the way they sort of carry themselves, they're not carrying themselves like we're just gonna play and hope for the best. They're carrying themselves as they want to go and play and win. And you can tell that they want to win every match that they play, you know, and they're just sort of not looking beyond the next match, and they'll see what happens at the end of the season. Now, they're not saying that they're going to win the title, or you know, but every time you hear Ange, he says, "Oh, we only won 6 points, so only 1 point from the top, or 6 points from the top, or 3 points from the top." That's what's aiming. That tells you that's what it's aiming for, you know, and without necessarily speaking it out loud, you know. And I'm surprised, but hey, listen, I'm of the view that whatever you want, speak it out in the open, you know, and let the universe carry it and translate it into something that your reality, you know. So yeah, you know. So yeah, I mean, I think we'll end up manifesting that. I'm sure, you know. Let's see how it goes, one game at a time. If we have a quick look at the potential side that we're going to put out on at Old Trafford, given the fact that we have a lot of injuries coming back, some people are still maybe, you know, training and they haven't quite not back to full fitness and all that sort of thing, but it's still looking promising from Tottenham perspective. I'm not going to go into the likely Man U lineup because it's the Tottenham TV show. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Man U guys. I know you might want to watch this and you think, oh, we haven't said anything about you guys, but hey, I'm sorry. another time, maybe when the program takes another format. We're here. Right. Tell me how do you think we're going to line up? And who are we going to deploy against Man United?
Well, the two major absences from what I've read or researched. Davies had a hamstring problem at the end of the last game, so I think Davies is out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And also another hamstring issue unfortunately for Gio Lo Celso. Gio Lo Celso is looking to be, some fans online are saying he's Mr. Glass, he's a bit fragile, but I just think, his body, in terms of the physicality, I don't know how well his body stacks up with the physicality. And also, I think it's no coincidence there's a lot of hamstring issues in Ange's first season, because I've seen this as a pattern. I think he had this at Celtic and had this at Yokohama Marinos as well. His system is very intensive. His training is very intensive as well. So that first season, their bodies aren't quite used to it, and it helps later on. And Gio Lo Celso is someone that everyone felt was quite injury prone already. But I think he'll bounce back from that. But apart from that, I think we can see a returning Van de Ven. In the nose say Romero has come back into training as well, so it might be him back in the side. Also, you have the new buy Radu Dragoshin coming in as well. Timo Werner coming into the squad as well. So anything's possible. Some people don't believe that Dragoshin could play because he's just coming to the side. No one, but that's exactly how we felt about Mickey Van de Ven. He literally had like 2 training sessions and played the first game of the season against Brentford and played very, very well, mind you. So anything's possible right now. So in terms of defenders, Van de Ven is 50-50. He's not match fit exactly, but he was on the subs bench for the last game. So every chance now that Davies is out that he could literally come in and start. Whether he stays the full 90, we don't know. So Romero as well is touch and go. So I could see a Van de Ven and Radu Dragoshin centre back pairing. That's my view. Or an Emerson Van de Ven pairing, one of the two. And then Romero coming in as a substitute or something like that during the game. Yeah, but beside that, everyone else. And then midfield, if Timo Werner starts, which I think he will, he looked good in the opening training session I saw. With Son unavailable, he just slots straight in, either playing on the left side and Richarlison in the middle, Brennan Johnson going back right. Because of Gio Lo Celso's injury, I think Kulusevski can come back into the number 10 position, and Bentancur and either Skip or Højbjerg play the other midfield positions. Porro and Udogie are both fit. So, yeah, Kulusevski as a 10, Brennan Johnson going to the right, Timo Werner left, Richarlison striker, and then centre back is just the issue. Van de Ven, will he start? I think he will. And it could be Emerson or Dragoshin or, surprisingly, Romero.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. So yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to sort of argue with that because we don't have Papa Matassa and Busuma available, and Son is also away at the Asian what's the word? Asian Cup competition. Right. So scoreline. I know you want to do the stay on the fence type. Don't let me stick my neck out, and in case it goes against us, sort of thing. So you guys have been hyping yourselves up because you got new players and all that sort of thing. Listen, go for it. Don't even don't hold back.
I think it could be a repeat of the Bournemouth score. So I think 3-1 to Spurs. That's my honest opinion. I think 3-1 to Spurs. Is Spurs, I think United will try and come out really early, fast, first 20 minutes. If Spurs can repel that, even if they score, I think Spurs will score back. That's the thing. That's my confidence in this Spurs side now is we will score. And we usually can score 2. Ange Postecoglou sides average 2 goals. If we score 2, we can score 3. So I think 3-1. They will rally towards the end as well to try and score a second and try. But I think it'll be 3-1 to Spurs. My prayer is that we stay away from on silly yellow and red cards, God forbid it. But 11 players versus 11, I see Spurs winning this at Old Trafford. So I'm looking at 3-1.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. I think yes, 3-1 would be a half decent scoreline. I think it's doable in Tottenham's favor. I'll be surprised if Man U won this sort of game, but you just can't rule out these things in football. Yeah, well that's the prediction. Yeah, thank you so much, Chuma. Final words. I mean, especially the fact that we've got the makings of a new squad, if you like. I mean, building up the squad. We've got players coming back. We've got some players away, but it's still looking good. What do you think?
I think every time you can add to a squad and you add quality players as well, not just adding to a squad, but quality players, and as Ange Postecoglou always says, quality characters as well. I think Dragoshin and Timo Werner, they both have chips on their shoulders trying to prove that they are as good as to have been wanted this much. I think it refreshes the squad, and Spurs are getting a refreshing wonderfully at the right time towards the end of the season or midpoint of the season to the end. So we'll see you all in May. Come what may, we'll see what happens then. But I think the squad's been refreshed and we're ready to run the second half of the season, and imitating that the very first 10 games. I think we can do that or even better that this time round.
Beautiful. So, guys, join us for the 90 Minutes Unplugged post-match live stream from what time is it now? I think the match actually kicks off at 4:30. So that will be 6:30.
It's about 6 o'clock, 5:45, 6.
Yeah. So that will be 7:15 for the live stream to come on live. So look forward to seeing you 7:15 on Sunday. Sunday the 14th of January. See you guys then. Okay. In the meantime, come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.